So, good evening, friends. Today's evening session is dedicated to class 9 and 10 and also 11, and we are doing reported speech. The very first question that comes to your mind, that why has reported speech been given in class 9 and 10? Well, most of the expressions, whether it is a literature answer, whether it is writing answers, any sort of write-up you start writing, there is an ample use of indirect statement. So a direct speech and indirect speech both are simultaneously used in delivering a speech or writing a debate or discussions or even in day-to-day conversation. So let us talk about what is direct and what is indirect. Then only we will be able to transform direct into indirect. A direct speech consists of the statement of the speaker in his own words. Whenever we express the statement of a speaker in his own words without changing anything, that is known as direct speech. For example, the teacher said, comma, inverted comma starts, I will inform you about the commencement of the class tomorrow. Inverted comma close, full stop. I repeat, the teacher said, comma, under inverted comma, I will inform you about the commencement of the classes tomorrow. So inverted comma close, full stop. So this is a direct statement because here we are quoting the statement of the teacher in his own words. The same thing can be written like that. The teacher said that he would inform the students about the commencement of the classes the next day. Tomorrow always changing to the next day. So this is an indirect way of saying. We have not changed the meaning of the statement. We have only changed the form of the statement. The first one was the direct form. The second one is the indirect form. Or rather we can say the first one is direct speech, the second one is indirect speech. Now the question comes, what are the changes that I have brought upon? I have added that, a conjunction. I have changed I first person into second person, first person into third person, I into he. I have changed the verb will into would and tomorrow into the next day. So there are three types of changes that we are going to execute while transforming direct into indirect. The first kind of change is known as elementary changes. This, that, these, those, here, there, hence, thence, today, that day, tomorrow, the next day, yesterday, the previous day, or the day before, ago, before, thus, so, now, then, is, was, are, where. These are some of the elementary changes. Then comes to the second change, that is change of tense. As I changed will into would, so change of tense. The first change is elementary change. I told you this change into that, these, those, hence, thence, now, then, ago, before, today, that day, tomorrow, the next day, yesterday, the day before, or the previous day, like the last week, the previous week, so on. And the second change that we will be executing in direct indirect is the change of tense. That simple present changes into simple past, present continuous changes into past continuous, present perfect changes into past perfect, present perfect continuous changes into past perfect continuous, and simple past changes into so past continuous changes into past continuous changes into past perfect continuous, and past perfect no change, past perfect continuous no change. So these are the change of tenses. The first change that I explained was the change, elementary change. The second change is called the change of tense, and the third change is known as change of person. Now change of person depends upon the persons, that is the speaker as well as the addressee. For example, if a sentence reads like that, he said to me, I am your friend. So he said to me, the here is speaker is third person and the addressee is first person. So now you see how it will changes. He said to me, you are my friend. He told me that I was his friend. So you see what has happened. Second person has changed into first person. Yes, I was his friend. You has become a I. Second person has changed into first person. And first person has changed into third person. Because he is third person, accordingly, your will become his. Because here second person, your will become his, third person. So second person changes into third person according to the speaker and the addressee. So change of person always follows that we always consider the first person if it is addressee, it will change into third person. Only SON formula will be applied. Second person object, no change. Otherwise, all the other persons will change into third person according to the speaker's, addressee and speaker's person. Like if I say that the teacher said to me, you have to come tomorrow. The teacher told me that I had to go the next day. Here, come will change into go, and you, second person, has changed into first person, and have has changed into had, according to change of tense. So, and that has been added. So, in elementary cases, in direct to indirect, the conjunction that is added. Like if you say, he said, it is going to be late tomorrow. He said that it was going to be late the next day. They said, we will go to Agra tomorrow. They said that they would go to Agra the next day. Raman said to Mohan, you can take my help. Raman told Mohan that he could take his help. Both the, speakers and addressee, both the third person. So it has changed into, second person has changed into third person. So it is change of person. So these are the three important changes. Elementary changes, change of person, and change of tense. We will go into details tense wise and sentence wise. First of all, we'll go for simple sentences tomorrow, and then they will go for interrogative sentences, then we'll go for imperative sentences, and at last we'll go for exclamatory sentences. And that is how we are going to make use of direct into indirect, and we will do it on board, because this has to be done on board with the a whiteboard. I will be explaining change of person, change of tense in details. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.